The European Economic and Social Committee represents organised civil society in Europe. It provides a unique channel for the active involvement of civil society in the EU policy and lawmaking process. Based on real-life expertise, the committee members have adopted thousands of opinions which help improve the lives of ordinary EU citizens. Shaping Europe, these opinions have promoted employment and good practice in areas like the environment, energy policy, aviation, and the social economy. They've encouraged the principles of democracy, freedom, and human rights throughout the world and championed equal rights for all EU citizens, especially the most vulnerable. Let's take a look at a few real-life examples of how the EESC's work has shaped our everyday lives. Social economy enterprises currently account for 2 million businesses and 14 million jobs across the EU. The social economy is a key feature of the social dimension of Europe. Social economy enterprises are set up to offer a public service or promote social welfare. They reinvest profits in pursuit of this aim. They're present in almost every sector of society and help build social cohesion and inclusion. EESC has backed the social economy for some time, helping shape EU measures in this field through its 2011 and 2014 opinions. In July 2016, the EESC organised the first European Day of Social Economy Enterprises, calling for an action plan to boost social entrepreneurship in Europe.
Les entreprises sociales en Europe deviennent de plus en plus importantes dans leurs différentes formes d'organisation. Tenez compte que les 10 dernières années, ce secteur a augmenté de 40% en toute Europe le nombre des emplois. Faire reconnaître l'existence de ce secteur et l'importance croissante de ce secteur. Le volet a été de travailler maintenant surtout avec les gouvernements. Comment structurer, comment monter l'utilisation, comment monter une ambiance favorable au développement et à la croissance de ce secteur.
Poverty and social exclusion include many multifaceted challenges such as housing, health, access to employment, indebtedness and addiction, to name but a few. Poverty undermines all aspects of well-being in society, including education, long-term health and family relationships. In 2015, the EESC's annual Civil Society Prize went to civil society organisations and initiatives working to alleviate poverty in Europe. Armut und Gesundheit, one of the winning organisations in 2015, acknowledges the fact that poorer people suffer more illness and die earlier than their wealthier counterparts, and therefore provides comprehensive medical care to homeless people and children and youth from deprived backgrounds. Since 2006, the EESC has rewarded the work of civil society organisations across Europe, each year focusing on an important societal challenge for Europe.
We have a growing number of working poor, meaning people that work, but the wage they are earning is not enough to have a decent life. Unemployment is still one of the biggest risks for becoming poor, and in a lot of countries we still don't have good provisions for unemployment insurance, for example, and this is something that should change very soon. This is one of the reasons why we proposed a framework directive on minimum income in the European Union with a great majority to say the European Union could set the framework for the member states, so they have to make sure that they have a certain level of services and provisions so that people don't fall into poverty when they lose their job, for example.
Civil society organisations are the body and the soul of the EU. The EESC Civil Society Prize aims to support, promote and showcase the indispensable contribution of civil society organisations to bettering the world we live in. Aviation is at the heart of connectivity and mobility for European citizens and has a very broad impact on economic growth, The aviation sector employs almost 2 million people and contributes 110 billion euros to Europe's economy. In order to remain competitive, the EU needs a coherent and comprehensive EU aviation strategy, which removes the unnecessary burdens undermining the aviation value network, drives for a global consensus on sustainability, and reflects the values of European citizens and businesses. That's why the EESC has set out a series of concrete steps necessary to achieve that.
Airports, airlines and navigation service providers come to the EESC to discuss about the current problems. If we can keep with all these issues, deal with them, end result will be better for the passengers, but also for the European economy. That's why EESC is so important and can provide value added to this process.
Through its concrete proposals for an integrated aviation policy in the EU, the EESC gives a valuable input and a strong voice to all groups affected by European policy in the field of aviation. The European Economic and Social Committee is the one EU body that has direct day-to-day contact with civil society representing ordinary citizens. Now more than ever, the EESC has a vital role to play in securing Europe's future. A future shaped by civil society and the EESC for the benefit of all of Europe's citizens.